Subscribe to this podcast to get exclusive access to the after show Shooting the Breeze. Welcome to Cool Explorations. I'm your host, Tony Peters. Today you'll be listening to LeeMann Bassey of HeIsTheArtist band. He's going to be talking about his new single, God Is On My Mind, as well as his music writing process and how he's been taken on a journey by God through his music. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cool Explorations. I'm your host, Tony Peters. Today we have LeeMann Bassey of HeIsTheArtist band, and he's back on to talk about his new single that he just released, God Is On My Mind. Why don't you remind us a little bit about who you are and what you currently do?
Yes, my name is so I am He is the Artist, and I am a Christian singer-songwriter from Central Islip, New York, and I use the words of of the Bible to communicate my message, and I just love it, and I love spreading the word of God.
Yeah, and that is awesome. And your new single, God Is On My Mind, you released that on August 8th, which is your birthday. So happy birthday, belated. Why don't you tell us a little about this song and its inspiration?
Yes, so the song is called "God Is on My Mind," and it's a reassuring song about just that God is on your mind even during your darkest hours and darkest days, and you just got to keep pushing through.
Yeah, that is very, very true in everybody's life, because we all have those dark times in our life that we really need to maintain our focus. And you were very pleased before when we spoke, but that this is your second completely Christian song. Why does that mean so much to you?
It definitely means something because my whole intention is always to spread the word of God and to and before I definitely did have secular songs out, but it means a lot because my whole goal is to reach as many people as possible with my word. I think having secular songs mixed in there will definitely bring more listeners to my music and to worship God in its most pure form.
Yeah, yeah. So, can you explain a little bit about where your musical passion began, where it came from?
Yes, um, yes, my I definitely love music since I was a kid and whatnot. But I actually started singing seriously on when I started to do covers on Instagram, and they were secular covers. They weren't actually religious covers, but I def I a producer from my hometown heard me singing, and he loved what he heard, and he invited me to his studio to make my first single, which was titled "Honey," which was a secular song. But then I kind of lost the passion eventually because I would just sing just to sing, and I didn't really have a purpose. And one day I was listening to a sermon on television, a TD Jakes sermon, and it inspired me to make religious music. And from then on, I just had that passion for music because it's pure and it's for the Lord and to help other people to see that God is always with them, um at every each and every day. Which is part of the lyrics in God Is On My Mind. So that's
Yeah,
why I also wrote that song. Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool. And it is interesting how a lot of singers get that way, where they just kind of lose their passion, and they are just looking for that next song to put out, and it becomes meaningless rather than that passion that drives you. So it's really important that you found that.
Yes, absolutely.
How have you felt God guiding your whole musical journey and your life to bring you to where you're at now with the Lord?
Um, uh, God has been with me every step of the way, and just has been, uh, every song that I've written. I had to pray about first, and I had to see where see what He wanted me to write about. And actually, I have two songs, completely Christian songs out. God Is On My Mind and Parted Waves, and both of them I went to sleep one night and I woke up with these lyrics, and that was all God um making those lyrics happen for me. So
Yeah, and God definitely works that way with lyrics. Usually mine is right when I'm trying to go to sleep, and then I'm like, oh crap, I gotta write this stuff down or I'm never gonna remember it.
absolutely.
What's the greatest challenge that you have faced in your musical journey?
Yeah, definitely getting the word out there because there's so much music out there, and just to have a a God fearing type music is kind of hard in this market where just being bad and evil is kind of the wave and kind of just what they want to put out for young people out there, and just having a pure message of justice and truth and God, which has been really hard, but I've been pushing through, and through God, I can move mountains. So I definitely will. I definitely feel that I'm making some progress, and God will make way for me. So
Yeah, and definitely the message they want to push out is sex, drugs, and money. That's
I
the basic thing that we see in a lot of secular music.
get,
So
unfortunately, and I just want to have a pure presence out there and to really um get young people to do the right thing, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see a bunch of people uh of my listeners going to jail and doing or just getting into drugs or some or awful things like that. I want them to be prospering, a citizen. So I'm
yeah,
gonna keep putting my music out there until it's heard um by the right people. So
yeah, and God will bring it to the right people. He has a way of doing that. He knows who needs to hear the message and who will be receptive to it.
yes.
Um, where did you first learn how to sing?
Well, I see it. That's I'm just I've always been singing by ear, actually. So actually, you know what? Bring it back to high school. Actually, my mother actually sent me to voice lessons. I did that, but I wasn't really that serious about it because I just uh it was just something for me to do for fun, and I didn't actually take it seriously until I music seriously until I was 26, when I was discovered on Instagram. So just
Yeah, for me, I took a couple years of voice lessons myself, and I got teased so much that I dropped it. And I wish I hadn't myself, just because I do love writing music. So it's kind of sad that I dropped that because of all the bullying, and I think that's
oh,
something serious. And with a God message, that's something you can go after is that bullying and love of Christ, sharing that out there. Uh,
absolutely.
how much of a role has God played in balancing music and your home life?
God, I come from a Christian family, so it's always been part of religion has always been part of my life. So it hasn't been hard. It's just made my family bond stronger.
Yeah, and that family support system is very, very important. So I'm glad to hear that you've had that growing up, because a lot of people don't know that feeling of having the rest of your family supporting your religious beliefs and going along with that. So it's great to hear that.
My
Um,
mother was actually my Sunday school teacher. So
that's really cool.
yes.
Yeah, my son's going into junior youth, and when we told him we were considering the junior youth route, and he's like, he's like, please no. So I guess he wants a little bit of time to himself, and not having us look over his shoulder the whole time.
Absolutely. I mean, children always want freedom, from their parents. So
Yeah,
but I enjoyed having my mother as my Sunday school teacher. She was a yeah, she definitely was the one who really drilled God into me. So I'm grateful for it.
yeah, and again, good on them for that. My parents came to know Christ when I was just a young kid, so I've known that support system for most of my life
Oh,
that way. Uh, back to your music. Which of your songs is your favorite one that you've ever produced?
um, I would honestly say "A Parted Waves" was actually my favorite song. It's a fun song to it's a fun Christian rock song, and I really enjoyed making it. And at first I didn't know what to write, but again I went to sleep one night and I woke up with lyrics and I came up with that fun song. So
Awesome. Are you planning any music videos for the songs that you have, and where would people find your music videos?
well, I have a lyric videos out. As far as actual big production music videos, not yet, but I put those music lyric videos out so people can listen to the words and get some uplifting and know that God is always with them.
Yeah, that's really cool. Uh, so where do people go about finding you and your music online?
They can find me on all major digital music outlets. Just type in "He is the artist" and they'll find all of my music, my entire catalog. And they can also follow me on social media, on Twitter at He Freed My Soul, on Facebook, Sign Love the Artist, and on Instagram at Sign Love the Artist.
Awesome. And what about upcoming songs? What's next for you?
As of right now, I'm not sure yet, but I whatever God sends to my brain, and most importantly my soul, that he'll have me write that song, whatever he wants me to write. So I go with wherever God leads me.
Yeah, and what does that writing process look for you? Does it just whatever comes to mind, or is there like a set process that you go through?
No, I'm inspired by a lot of things, and it's kind of hard to even explain because a lot of times I'm listening to old songs from long ago, and that something about that song sparks my inspiration to write another song, or it could just be something I'm going through, some troubles I'm going through, for guidance, and the guidance ends up being an actual song. So um, that he gives me the lyrics for. So it's all different things, but it all comes from God and His guidance. So
Yeah, and that's the important thing. What piece of advice would you have for young Christians out there who feel the pressures of the secular society?
to definitely believe in to go with wherever God leads you, because a lot of times secular music has just tries to make itself seem like it's so great, but then we hear all these horror stories like 20 years later about all the bad things that happened to them, and just know that but when you live in truth, you'll definitely will persevere in the end and live a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah, and it is important for sure to try to protect yourself from some of those messages because there's like we were saying before, there's a lot of it out there, and a lot of it is very very sneakily hidden in there.
Absolutely. And I always say that, a lot of those things God makes the beat, but the devil makes the lyrics. And we have to be aware of that just because something sounds good doesn't mean it's good for you.
Yeah, and that is true. Because a lot of the songs that are the most catchy are the most dirty, and I even notice that with my kids when they're listening to music, I'm just like, we're not listening to that song.
And absolutely.
So thank you for coming on again. Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
yeah, when your next song comes out, get Michael to give me a shout, and we'll get you back on here again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Cool Explorations. You've just been listening to LeeMann Bassey of He Is the Artist. He's been talking about his new single, God Is on My Mind, and the musical journey that God has been taking him on, and what his plans for the future are. If you'd like to contact me for any reason, you can do so at tpeters745@gmail.com. Well, I have just been blessed with so many people who are requesting to be on the show, and I'm impressed with how many people want to share their testimonies or what they're doing for the Lord right now. If I haven't got back to you, I promise I will get back to you. I look forward to speaking with each of you and interviewing you. And keep tuning into the show. There's lots of new people that are coming on here. And if you're considering wanting to come on the show, just shoot me an email at tpeters745 at gmail.com. And I will get back to you.